sophisticated.
Ice Spice or Sexy Red? This feels like Joe Biden or Donald Trump, and third party election. I'm gonna say Glorilla.
Very talented brother, very talented young man. He's put his life into his creative abilities. So bring it to the stage, one of my good brothers, David. Let's go.
Big glow you want, I bet your ass be on the floor. Big carbon here like Mayweather. Tula come through and blow a hole. Got millions out that rap shit. They hate a bitch, but they stole the flow. Got back in after back in.
How are you guys doing? You sound like you're doing pretty good. You guys sound like you're doing pretty good. You sound like you like it. Give it up for everybody that you've seen tonight, man. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting live art and supporting this thing called I Laugh At Yesterday. My family's not originally from here, so we're from Zimbabwe. And here's the thing: is like when you come from Africa, people just assume that everything in Africa is like super duper backward, and that's actually not the case. Like we're more, where I'm from in Zimbabwe, we're more progressive than the United States on some things. Like for example, we had our first black president way before you guys did. And by the time that he was done, everybody was like, 4 more years. And he's like, cool, how about 28? My childhood best friend from Zimbabwe was actually a black for Trump. I know, that's crazy. And I was like, I had to reach out and find out like what his thinking behind it was, because I was like, hey man, I'm trying to learn a little bit more behind your decision making, because first off, you don't even go here. And if you did, they'd send you back. Do you guys want to do a little bit of like Africa trivia with me by any chance? Anybody want to do a little bit of Africa trivia? Anybody want to do that? Let's do it. Yeah. Does anybody know like the second most dangerous animal in Africa by any chance? The second most dangerous animal in Africa. Did somebody say China? What? This is not that kind of show. It's a hippopotamus, exactly. The hippopotamus is the second most dangerous animal in Africa. At one point, they were in charge. They were responsible for 3,000 deaths a year. So yeah, while we were busy going goo goo gaga over Fiona, she's like, listen, I cannot wait to fucking murder all of you. And you're like, oh my God, David, hippos would never eat us. That's right. Hippos are vegetarians. Murder is fun for them. They are the death row records of the animal kingdom. Here's a hippo's entire MO. A hippo will walk up on an African village, destroy everything, and then just walk away like nothing happened. Like, who do they think they are, the royal family? I'll be honest, that was low-key like one of my favorite parts of like the year 2020 was everybody being surprised that the royal family had a race problem, to which all of Africa was like, no! Not our Queen to Meghan. She would never. Some things are just in a TV show. Is anybody here from a broken home by any chance? Anybody here from a broken home? Come on, shout out. Is anybody here from a broken home? That sucks. I'm not. What did you do? My parents have been together since they were 13. I know. Yeah, we love love. We love love. We love. It's a beautiful thing. I'm terrible at it. I'm still trying to take notes, but you know, it's fine. Like, here's the thing. My parents, the spark is still very much alive, which is very annoying for me as a son. I once decided to just visit my parents out the blue, and I walked in on them Netflix and chilling. Yeah. I like walked in and my dad threw a blanket on my mom and then gave me like a sup bro head nod. I was like, good for you, man. That's still my mom. And my dad always talks about how he wants us to be like better friends or whatever. It's like, well, friends don't bang each other's friends' moms, Dad. It's crazy. My mom is literally right there. I'm not going to hold you. The first time they saw me do stand-up comedy, I told that joke, and then I won an award. And I was like, listen, God's favor, your guys doing it, I don't know. We're here somehow. Like my parents being amazing at love and me being pretty bad at it makes me feel a little bit like Jaden Smith. Because, all right, hear me out. Will and Jada, no matter how perfect or imperfect they are still Will and Jada Smith. They have done a lot for the culture and just kind of like elevated like how we view black families. And I am their shitty little karate kid whose only move is to wax off. I'll address the elephant in the room. I am aware of the tone of my voice. I know I sound like Wayne Brady doing an impression of Tom Brady, okay? I was very insecure about the sound of my voice for a very, very long time, so I actually taught myself how to do a black voice. Is it okay if I teach you give you my tutorial on how to do a black voice by David Chimusoro? You guys want to learn? Some of you have already tried, so you might as well get the tour. All right, so here's what you do. How to do So here's how to make a black voice that I'm clearly failing at right now. But pretty much think of any word, like any word, except for the one. And what you want to do on that last consonant, just add the weight of 400 years of oppression, and then boom, a black voice will come out.
When you look at how broad art is and you look at the fact that you can wear art, you can live art, you can even eat art, right? You know, there's the art of culinary art. I think art is one of those things that it can't be limited. Regardless if people have a taste or they like a particular genre of art, art is the one space that cannot be really pinned down and labeled. I am Toylan O'Neill Turner. We are at Green Lawn in Evanston at my parents' home. And my father was a local artist and activist in Cincinnati. Art in itself is a system of empowerment because it is expression, and it comes from heart, it comes from vision. And so it actually just alleviates itself to be a door opener for most things. And so I've often used art, my dad used art as a tool for activism and also a tool for inclusion and diversity, because anyone can appreciate the arts. We actually have survived over the last couple of years just living through the arts, through music, through dance. Yeah, so my father started his work when he was a little kid. His sister would come home from school, and she's 1 year older than him. When he was I believe he was about 4 or 5 years old, and she would bring her projects home and he would mimic them. And so she kind of got him into doing his art and kind of opened that door for him. And then he started to get involved in activism and started documenting what was going on in the city. He basically became kind of almost like a recorder of history. And it just kind of grew, his love for doing art and documenting people. He suffered with arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, most of his life from the age of 16 till he passed in his 80s. So a lot of his work expressed his physical pain, some of the pain that was going on in the Black community. Some of his earlier works are very dark in the paint that he used and very dense in some of the expression. And then he got to a point where he learned how to maneuver and cope with his disability. And so then his work became very more kind of bright and inspirational, and actually kind of delved into kind of empowerment, kind of coming out of the 60s and 70s and what Black people were doing to kind of make change, make impact, and have ownership of their things. I believe art has such a center stage because it actually empowers people to be neutral. It also empowers people to just recognize that creativity has this motivation.
It's 2024. Who's depressed? We're all depressed here. Who here is depressed in the year of our Lord 2024? Depression. If you are Raw Dog in 2024, you are a nut job. Absolutely insane. Here's the thing. Black men, we don't really talk much about like our mental health. Like we really don't. We have two options. We either lay in bed for like 3 hours and listen to Many Men by 50 Cent until the pain goes away. Or we pull up to Fashion Week with a White Lives Matter shirt. Those are our two options. Here's the thing, being depressed, I'm depressed and I'm also Christian, which means I'm going to get the worst advice about it. Like, yeah, you will. I once told a friend that I was depressed and they were like, you should probably pray about that. And I was like, listen, I'm depressed, not gay. I can't just pray this shit away, all right? And the moral of the joke is it's not a choice. It is fun. I care about Kanye. I always think about him. I feel like people try to diagnose him, and I think I've diagnosed him too. I think he's the first person to have like a case of like premeditated Tourette's. Like he's going to say something crazy, but it's on a schedule, like or an election cycle, depending on which. Did you guys know that Snoop Dogg is on LinkedIn now? Like my dude, you have every job. Here's the thing that's crazy about Snoop Dogg. Snoop has the inner piece of marijuana, but the work ethic of crack cocaine. It's insane. And I bet you he gives amazing career advice on LinkedIn, because who do you want career advice from? Snoop Dogg, obviously. But it always is going to, I'm always going to read it and hear it in like the form of a song. Like, so this is my imagination going like, oh, I'm reading a post from Snoop Dogg. It's like, want to pimp up your resume? Use a better font, use a better font, use a better font. When you practice for an interview, prep it with the scrod, prep it with the scrod, prep it with the scrod. I fucked that up. It's okay. And if a nigga get an attitude, take it to the boss, take it to the boss, take it to the boss. Because a toxic environment ain't got it going on, and enroll in your benefits so you can live long. I usually get an applause break on that one, but it's fine. I remember the day that I wrote that, and I was like, I am a genius. And you guys said, no, you are not. I love watching documentaries. I watched a documentary on goats the other day. I'll smoke weed sometimes. My mom, watch a documentary on goats. That's where that'll take it. But here's the thing: goats are very fascinating creatures. Because goats have been around for a very long time, they're known as a workhorse animal. So for thousands of years, humanity has always relied on goats. So either for their strength or for their milk, and also just their ability to breed, has been very, very useful to humanity over time. So because they're such a workhorse animal, the male of the species is known as biologically promiscuous, because they breed them so much that they actually start to form a detachment between them and basically their offspring. So there's actually a very specific term for when a goat doesn't want to see their kid. It's called a Tom Brady. A very long walk for a pun. We have seen Tom Brady give a motivational speech to everybody but his kids. So Mill, he's a very, very close friend of mine. We've known each other for a very, very long time. One of the things about Mill that we met each other in the 8th grade, and then we were in band for a very long time. Mill, a part of his journey is that he served time for a little bit. He did about some time in jail. Good dude, just kind of got like lost on the wrong tracks, and then just kind of through work found his way back into just like life, and is it's awesome for me to just kind of like have our friendship, and it's really cool. Like even in just when he was inside, like how our relationship still very much was. And like we'd like FaceTime sometimes and he'd like make fun of me. And it was like really cool that we could like joke about it and joke with each other. I think that was really cool. One time we were like FaceTiming and I hadn't gotten like a haircut in a while. And then he just goes, "Ha ha, Chim, you look homeless." And I was like, "Well, my nigga, you look like you're in prison. So let's chill with all the jokes here." And you know what homeless people get to do is be outside all the time. Headshots for the year. You better walk around like Daft Punk. I don't know. But he has a mixtape. It's very good. You guys should check it out. I'll tell you guys this. Any white women in the room? It's like, nah. I have 3 tattoos and a nose ring. Courtney has been here before. And here's the thing. White women, what is up with the murder documentaries? That is, you're all subscribed to 3 or 4. What are you guys planning? And here's the thing, I'm not just riffing on white women just to rip on white women. I've actually seen a documentary on the psyche of white women. It's very, very informative stuff. It's called Mean Girls. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. Outside of my own race, I do like to travel I do like to travel quite a bit. The Tokyo shirt is just not for show. I got to go to Paris not too long ago. Has anybody ever been to Paris before? Anybody been to Paris? Oh, cool. What was your favorite part of Paris? What was your favorite?
The sign, walking down in the middle of the river, and it's beautiful. It's raining.
Oh, nice. We got rain in Cincinnati. You don't have to go that far. I once asked that question at a show, and then I asked the questions like, what was your favorite part of Paris? And somebody said, the racism and the cigarettes. I'll let you know, my favorite part of Paris wasn't like the Louvre or like the Eiffel Tower. My favorite part of Paris was like me and my friends were walking down the streets of Paris on a rainy night, like 'cause it's beautiful like that. And we walked past this cute little brunch spot called Rosa Parks Burgers and More. And more. All right. And I was like, maybe it's like a cute little French mistake. So I went on their website and they had a tagline that said, "We have a dream." And I was like, oh God, this is so intentional. And I have always wondered what the marketing pitch for Rosa Parks Burgers and More is. And friends, do you want to go? Do you guys want to know do you guys want to hear the marketing pitch for Rosa Parks Burgers and More? You guys want to walk through it together? You guys want to do it? All right, let's do it. Would you like to segregate yourself from overpriced drinks? Then come on down to Rosa Parks Burgers and More, and together we shall overcome your hunger. Price is so good, you'll feel free at last, free at last, free at last. And our special of the day is the Malcolm X Benedict. I'll tell you guys this last thing, and then I'll go ahead and head on out of here. I used to work retail for a very long time. Anybody ever worked retail before? Any retail friends? Yeah. Oh, yeah, the struggle. You know it. And when you work retail, people say very, very weird things to you all the time. It's just like an open door to humanity. I was like one time helping this cute old white lady. We're having a great time. I'm helping her fix her phone. And she's just like, "David, you're just so cute and so helpful. I wish I could just take you home and have you live with me. And you just did everything that I needed you to do." And I was like, "Ma'am, I don't know if you are a history buff or you have a project called 2025. But that has already happened." All right, everybody. I've been David. Thank you all so much for being here. your favorite white person? Jesus? I don't know. I'm just kidding. We all know he was black.